Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rusty 78609, and I'm on my way back to Caballo Lake State Park from Hillsboro, New Mexico, where I've just been going to check my mail because I had my mail forwarded there. But what I want to talk about is I actually had made an offer on a lot in Hillsboro, New Mexico, and the offer had been accepted. However, it was a verbal, it wasn't a written offer. Now that's something you got to remember. If an offer, if you're dealing in things over $500 or more, there's a thing called the statute of frauds. I won't get into the details, but be that as it may, basically certain agreements have to be in writing to be binding. The agreement I had to buy the lot in Hillsboro, New Mexico was verbal. But naturally, for a small amount like I was dealing with, I felt like it was a good deal. The man I was buying the property from was a businessman, and it looked like everything was going to work out. I had talked to him on the phone, made him an offer. He said that was fine, he'd accept that. So you got offer and acceptance, and unfortunately it wasn't in writing. Well, it wouldn't have made any difference. If somebody wants to renege, then you're going to end up in the courthouse, and I wasn't going to do that for that small amount anyway. But having said that, the bottom line is the lot deal, or the second home base in Hillsboro, New Mexico, the deal fell through. Am I disappointed? I'd say 50-50. In one way, it makes me feel free again, not to have that boat anchor around my neck, And then the other side of me says, well, that was your plan is to have a place when you get tired of pulling an RV and you can just drive back and forth. Those plans can easily be modified and changed, okay? So now my daydream again is back on the road again, and when will I pull out of here? I'll probably I paid for tonight and tomorrow night, so I'll probably pull out Wednesday morning and go somewhere, where, I'm not sure. So yeah, on the road again, it makes me feel good that I will be on the road again. So that's an upside. The downside is, of course, I'd had my mail forwarded. I'd opened a checking account, Truth or Consequences, and had money put in my account to be available so I could close the deal quickly whenever the guy showed up from Roswell. He lives in Roswell. And, he just basically said he changed his mind. Basically what he wants is more money, and that ain't going to get it, okay? No. That does not work with old Dad. But the other side of that coin is, and I'll give you this will help you sleep at night. If it were me that had been selling that lot, and after I had reached that verbal agreement with whoever, and after subsequently I find out that it's worth 4 times what I'm asking for it, would I have changed my mind? And the answer is no. Without question, I would not have changed my mind. Now, a lot of viewers are going to say, oh yeah, you would too. You're just like everybody else. No, that's wrong. There is a thing in life for me. I'll kid around a lot, and I'll take liberties with the truth sometime like every other human. But there are certain things, if I reach an agreement, verbal or written, doesn't matter. If I reach an agreement and I say, okay, the deal's done, or we've reached an agreement, it's done, and that's what we had done over the phone, I would honor it, okay, without any question at all. So, but however, for those of you that watch my other video about tips on buying land and real estate and stuff like that, I left out one item, and that's this. If you reach an agreement, and it's possible, that if you're sitting there with the seller or buyer, either one, get it in writing and get signatures and date it. That's a little bit more binding than you going in a small claims court and say, well, Bill said, and I said, and he said, and they said. No. If you hand them something that's written with signatures on it, you're in pretty good shape. But on the road again is a good feeling in my mind. Did I learn anything? See, no knowledge is lost. Did I learn things? Sure, I learned a lot about Hillsboro, this whole area, because I was refocused. I wasn't just a tourist anymore. I was going to be living here. And whenever you shift gears from that being a tourist to living here, all of a sudden the grocery store looks different, the price of gasoline looks a little different, the travel distance between town A and town B looks a little different. You know, you start to take those things pretty seriously because you're going to be doing them over and over and over and over and over and over and over. But anyway, did want to mention that to you because I know some of you have discovered the fact that I was looking for a spot but none of you knew that I had made a bona fide offer, at least verbally, and it had been accepted verbally. And it's such a small amount, so there's not, a lot of you are going to say, well, if I was you, I'd drag him into court. Don't even bother with leaving those comments, please, because, if you knew the amount, you wouldn't do it. Okay, you're not going to do that. If it was a bigger number, yeah, you get up a larger number, sure, I'd do like anybody else would. But having said that, guys, so where will I go from here? I'm not sure, man. New Mexico is a big state. Today we got a really nice day. Temperature's around 80 out here where I am right now, and humidity, of course, low. We've got some clouds today, which is nice. There's so many clear days in New Mexico that you welcome clouds. Like hallelujah, brother. So, but yeah, it's been a real learning experience, man. It has. I have to say this: the price of gasoline and truth or consequences, $2.92 a gallon. I know some of you are paying that or more, but in central Texas where I'm from, it's about $2.45 right now, I was told. So, it's 50 cents a gallon, roughly a gallon more. Do I feel that? Yeah. Prices for groceries a little higher, and all you have out here in truth or consequences is you've got a Bullock's, I think, and a grocery store, and you have a Walmart, and that's it. There ain't no more. So it's a pretty drive anyway, but the reason I drove back out there, I checked my mail at the Hillsboro post office. There was none, even though I had it forwarded last week in time. I was thinking maybe I'd got some, and I'll check it again tomorrow because I won't be leaving out here till Wednesday morning, and I'll notify the postmaster to just send it right back to Kingsland, Texas. Of course, it'll be some well-traveled mail for a while. But, it's a small post office. There's not a whole lot of activity, and so he'll be able to remember and do that for me, and I'm sure they will. And there's no fee for the post office box anyway. If you're a local or you live there, you have a residence or property or whatever, you get a free mailbox. So I didn't pay. I'm not out any money anywhere, I guess is what I'm saying. I didn't put any down payments or anything. I did have Windstream scheduled to be installed next week sometime, for phone and internet, but I just called them and canceled it, and they didn't get any money up front either, so I'm not out any money. The only thing I'm out is a little, actually nothing. I think I gained. I think I was actually a net gain, because, I got to exercise my mental muscle by going to the tax assessor and the county clerk's office and wake up all those thinking processes or thought processes. So yeah, and it's good to have those at the forefront because I'm still, old Rusty doesn't give up easy. It doesn't mean I'm going to work very hard at it because it's not something I'm all that excited about. It's just that I thought I'd found a decent place to park my RV in a small town that would work, and it didn't. And that's just the way it is. So overall, the more I think about it, the more relieved I've become because, there's going to have to be some clear. I'm just talking to myself, guys. If you want to click off, go ahead. But, I had already planned it in my mind, and now I've got to reverse all those thoughts, which will take about, 2 more beers. I got 2 more beers in the fridge when I get to my home base. And I will drink them accordingly. Oh, I wished I were an Oscar Mayer wiener. That is what I'd truly like to be. Remember that advertisement? Life is good, and it's up to you to stand guard at the door of your mind and, roll with the punch when something a little negative happens, just kind of grin and say, okay, that's the way that is. close the book on that one. Now we'll move forward to something else, and that's exactly what I'm doing right now. And while I was in Hillsboro just now, there were some people that had been very kind to me, and I had to go by and thank them for their kindness and their efforts on my behalf, because there were some things they did that were, yeah, very helpful, very, very helpful. Good people. Yeah, the town's great. You know, every now and then you just draw a bad card, and it's like dealing cards. Every now and then you get good ones, and every now and then you get bad ones. So from now we're going to work on getting better ones. Okay. Well, having said that, I'm just rambling on again. This is good therapy. Okay. I'm on the couch, and y'all are listening. So what is you just pick yourself up and get back in the race, because that's life, and that is too true. You know, off to the right here, you can't see too much of it. That is all Bureau of Land Management land that is free camping. Yeah, there's RV. You see a few RVs out there. You probably can't see them because they're way off in the distance. But on the right is all BLM land. And you go up to these gates. There's no sign, no nothing. And they've got a chain, but no lock. And you just unchain it, go in, and close the gate behind you, and find you a place, and go for it. But it is what you get, men, ladies. Ain't nothing there. And you know, this is where you'll pick up the little rodents in your vehicle, out there doing that. But having said that, guys, from near Hillsboro and Cavallo Lake State Park, this is Rusty78609 saying thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye, buy anything you want. But if you think about it, use the link to Amazon products in the description of all of my videos. Why? Because I get a small commission, doesn't cost you a penny if you want to fool with it. Don't worry about it if you don't. You know, drink plenty of water, stretch, walk, take deep breaths, you know, stand guard at the door of your mind, do that drill, and get used to it, because if you feel good, it makes all the difference in the world. You know, I'm 73, and, you know, I still feel good, you know, I mean, and I may continue just to pull my RV back and forth. Pulling the casita is a piece of cake. You know, it may be this was a blessing in disguise, like most are, but enjoy your life, guys. Adios, amigos, and carry on.